Good afternoon. Welcome to Sabado Session Podcast. This is our Sheffield series number 4. And here we have got Calle Johansson. Did I say your name right? Because people intend to call you Carly.
Yeah, my real name is Carl, but everybody calls me Callie.
Okay, cool. So
So it's whatever you want. But yeah,
I'm gonna
happy
go.
to be on here.
Great, fantastic. So, how are you feeling, by the way?
I'm feeling fantastic. Training's going well. Feels like I'm in a good spot mentally as well. Nothing to complain about. Staying busy and all. So yeah.
Brilliant. I called you in Malta. I called you Legend Killer. A lot of people. Oh yeah, Jiren's talk too much. Why would you say that to Carly and all of that? I was like, mate, if there's anyone that deserves the name Legend Killer, is you, right? This the rest is history. We'll touch on that later. But
Mm,
to me, you are the Legend Killer, and it was one of them ones like the experience of people that watched, we enjoyed it. So before we get to that, let's go back
yeah.
powerlifting. Why not any other sport? Because you're young, you're still a junior, you're a very young man. So why powerlifting?
So it's a pretty long story, but it all started with when I was in eighth grade. Me and my friend went to a boxing class together.
Mhm.
And I did that for a couple of months, and then he gradually started to lean more towards strength training. So he started working out at the gym and spent less time at the boxing gym. So I was pretty much alone there with all the other guys. So I felt like, oh, I want to like tag along to see what this gym thing is.
Mhm.
Um, and the first time I got there, I just got stuck. I really fell in love with it. Just like the feel of getting a way to uh, vent, like getting an outlet like for myself, which was very helpful. Because when I was younger, I had a lot of problem with mental health,
Okay.
and I felt like the strength training aspect was like a very good thing for me to like get an outlet, find something to get my mind off. And I continued to like just do regular strength training for like 3 years. And in my second year in high school, due to mental health issues, I actually got bedridden and I was away from school for like, I think it was 6 months. And I had a lot of struggles with relationships at home and stuff, which also played a part in that. And I remember like after a month or so being bedridden, my father came to me and was like, I know you're feeling ill and all that. And I know you have to take rest, but you have to find something for you to like to chase. You need a purpose.
Yeah, yeah, go. Yeah.
And yeah, and that was pretty hard for me to swallow, like a pretty hard pill for me to swallow because at one hand, this psychologist told me that, okay, well, you're depressed, you're
Mhm.
suicidal, you're
Mhm.
having like all these self-harm issues. You need to take time off for yourself. But
Mhm.
at the same time, my father tells me, well, you have to find something to chase.
Yeah.
Um, so I was like very confused, but after like a couple of weeks after that conversation, I just by chance, uh, I just by chance found a video of I don't know if you know who she is, but her name was Isabella, or her name is Isabella von Weissenberg.
Yeah, we all know Isabella, don't worry.
Yeah, yeah. It's a yeah, but she was like I think the first video I found of her was from like a world championship when she hit a squat world record.
Yeah.
And I felt like, wow, that's she. I thought she was so cool. She was really inspirational. So I started to like find out more about her and the sport that she practiced.
Mhm, mhm.
And if we go back to the strength training part, I mean, when I was at the gym, just regular gym training, I always got to hear that I was pretty strong for my age and for my weight. But I never like knew that I could compete in like the lifts I was doing, which was mainly squat, bench, and deadlifts.
Mhm, mhm.
But after seeing that video, I was like, oh, you can compete in that? That's something new. And I also found, and I got this feeling that, wow, I think this might be the way that this might be the purpose my father told me that I was
Mhm.
having to look for. And also, in the same time, I knew that, okay, like because when I was bedridden and experienced all these mental health issues,
Mm.
I felt like a failure to my parents
Yeah.
because I mean I didn't do anything. I mean I was away from school. I couldn't study, and all I wanted to do was to make them proud.
Mm.
So I just got this gut feeling that if I go and do this, I might have my way to make them proud.
Yeah.
So 2 months later, after I like first watched this video, I signed a gym membership at my local powerlifting club. Um, and I mean, uh, as soon as I stepped foot inside those doors, it felt like family. You know, they took me in like I was part of their group, like instantly.
Mm.
Um, and most important of all, I felt like people saw me for who I was,
Yeah.
and they recognized like the potential I had, which was really not something that I had experienced previously. So that was like super empowering for me.
Mhm.
Just knowing that, wow, I can actually impress people. People appreciate what I do. So yeah, I just continued to do my powerlifting training, and 3 months later, I did my first powerlifting competition at Eleco headquarters in Halmstad.
No.
Funny enough,
Man,
um,
you doing your first Paralympic combat at the illegal headquarters. Jeez, what a
yep.
kid. You go from the get-go. Go
It
on.
was just like a small local meet, but since my hometown is very close to that area,
Mhm.
we just had the local meet there. And funny enough, my first powerlifting competition was also going to be the first time I stepped on the international stage, like 2 years later, which was like crazy coincidence.
Mad.
But yeah, anyways, after I did that first competition, I mean, I did pretty good like all right numbers for being like a youth lifter. I think I did like a 517.5 kilogram total as a very light 83.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, I didn't really care about the numbers. I just knew that after that competition, I felt like, wow, I think I can become the best in the world in this. And I just was like, okay, that's the goal. I'm gonna make my parents proud. I'm gonna make my family, like my family and friends proud. And most important of all, I'm going to prove to myself that I'm not those feelings that I experience and those self-hatred thoughts.
Mhm.
I'm more than that.
Mhm.
So that really like fueled me throughout my whole powerlifting career. And yeah, I think that was what took me to the place I'm at right now.
You know, the thing is, like, you touch a lot of things there, a lot of important things that people intend to almost ignore when it comes to this sport. How much this sport has changed a lot of us, in one way
Yeah.
or another. As you mentioned there, like, you wanted your parents to feel proud of you because of what you were going through there. I mean, just for context for people, the viewers, the listeners, is I'm sure I could say this. We
Mm.
are we coming from that traditional Oriental families, we don't ignore the advice of the professional, like the psychiatrists and doctors. But in the family where we come from, where I'm sure like you can relate on this one because you are descendant of from Asia as well. So
Yeah, I'm half Filipino.
yeah, half Filipino. So these things are almost like, okay, the doctor said this, but what can you do extra for you to get better? That's what probably
Yeah.
your dad said to you. Focus on something as a goal. We have
Yeah.
been through that. Even me myself is like in life when things get really tough, you know, like professionally or medically or personally, I speak to my old man. It's not that he's ignoring what I'm coming with, but he's almost like jumping 2 steps ahead. Think, okay,
Yeah.
it's happening. We accept the situation, but what else can you do to fix
Mm.
this? Instead of you
Yeah.
sitting there and waiting for you to get better, or you waiting for you to get the rest you need. I'm sure there's
Mm.
a lot of things you can do. I think all stems to that old school mentality where they come from. So
100% tough love. It's tough
exactly.
love.
Tough love. And nowadays, like when we do that, people call us names, but it worked. Do you know what I mean? And look at you now.
Yeah.
You're the best powerlifter in the world. If probably your dad never
Yeah.
did that, you probably be like, okay, I'm gonna go on the bench, but what squat is hurting my knees. I'm not gonna do that. But look at now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I've had some rough, like, our relationship hasn't like, it's been pretty rough, like when I grew up, but I'm so thankful that it was exactly the way it was because I mean, I'm very certain that if my father hadn't like formed me like that, or like been so tough on me,
Mhm.
I would have never become a champ. If he
Yeah,
would have been like, "Oh, you need to rest," or I mean, do what feels best for you. No, no, you have to find a purpose. You have to like let it guide you.
yeah,
You have to work hard. Nothing is going to like just come out of the blue. It's like you have to work for it.
yeah.
Whatever you put out, you get to back.
I
Um,
agree with you. I mean, not so much in my sports life because I used to be a footballer, and then when I got various injuries, and the man goes upset, say, "Look, go back to school, study." And I
mm,
went back to school, and then university comes in and go, "You're doing 2 degrees." So basically, like the professional career I have, and even in my studying life that I went
mm.
to university, it's not so much it was my choice for to choose to do what I did. It's almost it was like this is what my dad won, and I'm doing.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? So it's like yeah, my dad was like okay, university in this country like in the UK is like 3 days a week. Why is it 3 days a week? What are you gonna be doing for the other 4 days a week? There's 7 days of the week. I was like
yep,
that's the days for me to study. No, 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 no. Those they have to be covered. So you mean going add another
yeah.
on top of that? Do you know what I
It's
mean?
always yeah. It's always been like, oh look, I did this. Well, oh yeah, that's great, but what can you do more?
Exactly, exactly. But look at us now. You know, we're sitting here. We took his
Yep.
history in the past, but we are so successful in our respective lives because of that tough love that people intend to bash and people intend to ignore. So yeah, it's fun. It's wonderful to hear that from you. So again, you got into powerlifting. You did your first meet, of course, at the Laco HQ, which is you're a lucky kid. Some of us never go to even see that place because I think it was in 2021 World
Yeah.
Championship was there.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I had to turn that invite down because I just had a newborn baby, so I couldn't travel to Sweden. So yeah, I missed that opportunity. Opportunity don't always come. So yeah, anyone who's listening, when the opportunity come, seize it, enjoy,
Yeah.
it, because it's
100%.
not always going to come. So yeah, now people know you as Carly as one of the biggest deadlifter on the planet, right? When it comes to the 74, right? In terms of no,
Yeah, I'm all right.
you are the biggest. No, you are the biggest deadlifter on the planet on the 74s, right?
Yeah, I mean, Perk pulled like what did he do, like 337 or something like that? But yeah,
Has
75, like
has
one of
Perk
the biggest. Yeah.
has got a world record deadlift?
Oh, well, no.
So exactly. So who has the world record? It's Carly, it's not Perks. So let's not talk
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah,
We'll talk about Perks when Perks has the world record deadlift. At the moment, it's
yeah.
Carly. So how did this deadlift come about? Is it like particularly? I want you to take me back in terms of like how much did you pull the first time you held the bar?
The first time, I don't remember what I did the first time, but I remember I was pretty early on pulling 200. I think I was like, what was I, 16 or 17 when I pulled the 200, and I weighed like sub 70 at that time. And I didn't really like train for just deadlifts. I think my first competition result was like a 210 kilogram deadlift, something like that. But I actually started out as a conventional puller, and I mean, I was all right. I think the most I pulled was 297.5 kilograms at Hamstone 2021. But the thing is, I actually hurt my back a week out from Junior Europeans 2021, the same year.
Mhm.
I got a disc bulge. And it took really long time for me to recover. And after that, conventionals didn't really like feel natural like it did before.
Mhm.
So I actually had to switch over to sumo. Um, and it took a really long time for me to just like learn the movement. I think from when I pulled 297.5 kilograms conventional, I added a 2.5 to that like a year after. Um, so yes, sumo didn't really come super fast to me. And I actually, when I was competing conventional, I tried out sumo for some times, but I really, I couldn't really like make it click. So I think I really needed that like, long injury time just to like properly learn the movement. And I mean, now it just feels like it's second nature to me.
I mean, you are a world record holder. I can't even talk when it comes to deadlift. Well, I can't because I can't pull, I, and I
I
can't
mean,
talk.
you're pretty good.
Uh, not as good as I should be, to be honest. When it comes to again sumo is such to me I find sumo really technical in terms of like almost like if you misgroove the bar, it's gone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what it makes it be a little bit harder. So in terms of the lift itself, right? I just want to get a little text from your side. How do you prepare for a big sumo lift? Because again, we've seen Anna, right? Anna went
Mm,
for 385 kilo in South Africa, which is fucking insane, right? As a
yeah.
sumo puller, and we see, and realistically, some of the best pullers in IPF, apart from
Mm,
Indy and Jesus, the bigger guys, they're all
mm,
sumo pullers, right?
yeah.
And you are the best. So it tips on you from you. How do you approach that big sumo pull when it's coming on the platform? Is it something? Do you think about your techniques, or do you think about, oh fuck it, I've done this before, or do you think about, you know what, this is gonna be hard, but it is what it is. I'm gonna give him a go.
I mean, I have Joey Flex as a coach, and he's very like, if I interpreted his philosophy right, you can't really like think too much about your technique, or rather, I have singles or doubles like each and every week for my main lifts, and I think when you do that for a long period of time, your tech becomes second nature. And I think that's what he wants, like for me, when he like puts in the singles, just for me to like have the technique as second nature. So I don't really think too much about like my technical performance when I'm competing. It's like, well, I have a few check boxes, like my stance, pull the slack properly, pull with your hips and all that, but it's not like I don't want to think too much about it. I just want to be like present in the moment.
Mhm,
The most important thing for me, especially when I pull, it's my mentals.
mhm.
To be able to like take on what I'm going to do, seize the moment. So just be very present, paying my acknowledgements to God before like going out to lift, always doing the cross,
Yeah.
making sure that I'm controlling all my inner variables. Like, okay, what am I feeling right now? How do I, if I feel like too nervous, how can I like tackle that? And for me, it's like just focus on your breathing, be present in all like your physical feelings, because you can't really like push away the feelings, but you can accept them and be present with them and just do your best with that. So to answer your question, mostly it's my most the mostly what I think about the most when I pull is just like being present.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's key, because your mental state can play a massive
Oh
part
yeah,
when it comes to weightlifting, especially technical lift like sumo. With
yeah,
convention, I always said to people, I'm not against convention. I'm a conventional puller myself. That's why I said that my sumo is shit. I'm still pulling. I'm
mm,
still learning how to sumo, because conventional was more about, mate, I'm not really feeling it, but I'm just gonna go and muscle it up. Do you know
yeah.
what I mean?
You can grip and rip it. Yeah,
Yeah, you can just rip it off. If you have a strong back like some of us do, you can get it.
mm.
But with sumo, it's more about, I'm not feeling it. As soon as that mindset is not right, and
Oh no,
that's,
you can't. It's
yeah,
no, you have to be. You gotta be 100% in the mind, because if you're not 100% in the mind, then your physical is going to like just
yeah,
let you go,
yeah,
and well,
literally.
then you're fucked.
You're fucked, because some of the weight, like I remember, in, for instance, let me just give a typical example for myself. In Malta, the prep before Malta, I pulled 330 for a double.
Mm.
Right? So when they loaded 330 at my third attempt in Malta, I was walking toward it. I was like, I got this. But then again, I think the mistake I made, I thought like, oh, even if I got it, where am I going to end up? Because I already came out with one squat.
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah. So
know
you're
what I mean?
like
And
lost.
then,
You lost the present.
exactly, not the excuse I'm making, but just variable like that fucked you up straight away. Do you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
Even
100%.
the easiest way you can do in the world, but because you just like distract yourself by thinking about what could have been, or what could it be, you're just gone, because it's a technical lift. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I, I
gone.
I think the most important thing is, for me, example, it doesn't matter if it's like an empty bar, 70 kilos, 270 kilos, or whatever, 350. I treat the bar the exact same way. I only view it as, okay, it's just a little more on the bar, but I have to treat it with the same amount of respect. Like always do the exact same ritual, pay my praises to God, Make sure to be present. Doesn't matter if it's 70, 270 again, like 350.
Yeah.
You have to like respect the weights.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you don't respect the weights, well, the weight's gonna fuck you over.
Yeah, it will hurt you. I mean, I always said, I think you hit on the nail there. That's one thing. Even I do post it on my Instagram sometime. I say, look, you got to respect the weight. You have to have the mutual respect. You know, because when I see Instagram lifters, people coming in like throwing weight left, right, and center, bouncing the bar, and I'm thinking because you have not got there yet. The
Mm.
day that bar will play you back, you
Yeah.
hate it. Do you know what I mean? So
Give you that back injury or fuck your knee over or whatever.
exactly. So
It
because
doesn't care how you feel.
exactly, people don't realize how fragile we are when it comes to weightlifting. We're just human bodies. So yeah,
Yeah,
talking about again, we spoke about, of course, the deadlift. The reason I touched on the deadlift today, again, as I said, you are the best deadlifter in 84 in the world. So anything you give us, people like us that still learning how to swim. Now you said to me, I have to think my about my mental health and I have to presently be there. These are the tips
yeah.
that sometimes people are listening, they don't know how much it plays. You're not Mr. Wonder anymore in terms of Mr. Deadlift. You're becoming a three lifter guy. Do you know what I mean? Subtotal guy. Because the thing is, like, it's so hard to get a subtotal specialist in powerlifting, right? They are there,
Mm,
they exist because we have got the likes of Anatoly, we have got the likes, of course, the Taylor Howard, and
yeah.
the likes of Delaney and the rest. Subtotals guys, they're there, Jesus. So you're
Mm.
now being part of that group or being a subtotal. You're not being a Enna or Mendes or anything else, you know what I mean? So you are a subtotal guys. How did you get to put the work on your squat and bench?
I think if we start with squat, again, if we go back to the disc injury, before like pre-injury, me and Joey always used to like do 2 squat days a week. But the thing is, I always felt like very beat. And I like my knees were hurting. I was like my core took a lot of like damage. Um, and when we were like reintroducing these movements again, we just started with squatting once a week.
Mhm.
And what we discovered was that I'm super sensitive to volume, which isn't like a very common thing for lighter lifters. Usually, you have to like really bomb them with volume. I mean, I have a lot of like my own lighter lifters. And I mean, you have to like really give them a lot of volume in order to like get some progress. But I'm like, Joey says that I'm sort of like I'm a super heavyweight in a 74 kg body.
That's bad.
So yeah, so I mean, as soon as we just pull away one squat session a week, we introduced sumo, which I guess like is a very good complement for my squat. I mean, everything just started to click. So yeah, just like keeping as low volume as possible while like just progressing and doing that over a long period of time. I mean, my squat wasn't the best just a year ago. I've put a lot on like a lot of weight. And I think that is one because of my like progress in the deadlifts and just not pushing myself too hard. I mean, just playing the long game. And for my bench, it's been like just pushing the complements harder, especially triceps. My triceps have always been like a weak side, but now it's like the biggest part of my body. Like I have big triceps, if I can give that to myself. And yeah, just adding a little more volume. So for squats, pulling away volume, bench, adding volume, and obviously also doing a lot of mobility training for my like upper back when it comes to bench, just to get that good positioning. Given that, I mean, I have really long arms. I have like 15 plus in ape. I don't know what you say in English, but it's called like ape index in Swedish.
I don't know what.
Uh, So usually you have like, for example, I'm 170 centimeters long. So
Yeah,
usually you have like zero ape index if you have like 170 from fingertip to fingertip if you like
yeah.
straighten out your arms. And I have plus 15, so that's pretty long. So I shouldn't be able to bench, but I made sure just to optimize my like all my angles, making sure to work on my technique as much as possible. And yeah, just making sure that Joey makes me a strong motherfucker.
I mean, you know what? You touch things there to me. Like I'm listening, I'm thinking, wow, that's impressive. Because with me, our squats, I do week A and week B. And week A, I do 2 day squats. I do Monday and Friday. And week B, I
Mm.
do 4 day squat. I do 3 days back to back, and then Friday I
Ooh,
squat. Yeah, I know. Done.
that's tough.
Yeah, so I mean I can take volume. So in terms of
Mm.
like squats, really, I never really had an issue with volume. Bench, of course, it is what it is. We can't talk about bench when it comes to me. It's interesting for you to say pulling down squat to less volume a week has helped you to push your squat where it is, because I just recently saw you squat 280. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's huge. You know,
Yeah,
considering
that's
the
pretty big.
world record is like a couple kilos away from that. Do you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
impressive. And yeah, so in leading to Sheffield now, I mean, I know I jumped a few hoops ahead in terms of we can go backward or whatever. How
Mm.
many days are you squatting a week? Is it just that one you said, or when it comes to major prep, you do increase that frequency to at least two?
Only
Still
do
one
once.
a week.
Yeah, like just as long as I get to recover properly,
Mm,
my squat will like go through the roof.
mm,
And yeah, again, that's something Joey really believes in. You know, recovery is key. You don't necessarily have to push as hard as you possibly can,
mhm.
like all the time. I mean, as long as you play the long game, it will be good.
I think I should get a tip on your book. Maybe score after the Euros and score once a week. And if I score below 300 next year because I pushed it back, I will hunt you down. So, but yeah, but that is really interesting. So, yeah, now brings me back to the World Championship. Of course, just a little bit of to touch there. How was the prep
Hmm.
leading toward? Because you came from the juniors, right? Even to see your name in a list for Malta, nobody
Yeah.
backs Carl to win. Carl, nobody backs him.
Oh no,
People,
no. I think King of the Lift had like a voting poll. And I think there was like less than 1% that voted on me. So yeah,
yeah.
I was definitely the underdog.
So how was the prep leading to that? Especially when you've been put as an underdog, it's almost like, especially again the conversation we were having in the beginning, you've been going through the mental health. So that mean like everything people
Mm.
say, even though you overcame that, but everything people say, almost like you look at them and think, oh wow. Do you know what I mean? They don't necessarily have an effect on you mentally, but it makes you think about what people are saying about you. So how did you deal with that and the prep leading to what?
So if we like take the first part about like what people thought about me, I mean, I came in with the mindset of just focusing on what I could do.
Mhm,
Like throughout the years of powerlifting, and especially during my off time from when I had the disc injury and I didn't have like powerlifting to rely on, because I mean that was like my main driving factor in life to just keep going despite the thoughts
mhm,
and all the mental health stuff. I mean, I went through a lot of like mental health issues again when I had the injury because my a big part of my like identity just suddenly disappeared and all
mhm,
those problems like came up again. So I realized, okay, I can't really focus on all the outside factors right now. I have to turn like internally and work from there. And while rehabbing, I like started to working a lot of myself, focusing on meditating, praying a lot, um, just making sure not to like put too much energy in outside factors that I can't control and just focus on, okay, what can I do? Well, one, train hard. Two, recover.
yeah,
Three, well, nutrition, sleep, water, making sure the mentals are good. These are all things that I can control.
yeah.
Everything else, fuck off. And yeah, but I mean, that's and that like grew on me more and more.
Mhm,
Um, and you can almost see that on my total as well if you go to my database. Like
yeah.
my total was like, I mean, it was like gaining a little bit competition by competition.
Mhm,
But as soon as I got like my mentals right,
yeah.
just made sure to focus on what I could do,
Mhm,
my total skyrocketed. And I was in this like I've been in the 74s since 2019.
mhm,
And it's only until like after like my first junior worlds win that my total really like took off.
yeah.
And I pay tribute to a lot with like well, one, I have a good coach, a nutritionist, but also the mentals. That's been a super big part for me. So yeah, I mean, of course you feel the pressure. I mean, I was going to like share the platform with Taylor Atwood. I mean, to me, he's the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, or him or Jesus, like if you look at the greatest of all time performances. But I mean, he's a guy that I really looked up to. But I also knew that, you know, he wasn't at his full capacity, like coming into this competition. So I felt like, well, we might have a chance to get like close to him. But I mean, I wasn't really thinking about, oh, I'm going to beat him. It was like, well, we see on the day. And I mean, of course, you feel the pressure going into this competition, but I just made sure to, again, just focus on what I can control. Well, I mean, training good, recovering, making sure I meet my like sports masseuse like every week, making sure I have a good communication with Joey, Paige, my nutritionist, just making sure that all my internal factors are on point. And that I think that what was like I think my in like me maturing like mentally. I think that what was like made me ready for taking this win.
Nice.
I don't think God would have allowed me to win if I wouldn't have been like ready mentally. I mean, I've always been very strong, but been the mental part for me that's been like a big factor.
Mhm.
And
I mean, let me jump like two step ahead. I mean, since you
mhm,
mentioned you talk about the win there, you talking about the mental,
yeah,
almost like the mental resilience there. How did your parent reacted when you became world champion?
I mean, they were super proud. I mean, their son became a world champion.
Mhm,
I don't think I think that it's very hard to put like into words how much I saw it meant for them,
mhm,
which made it mean even more to me. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. The win, like me being like winning a world championship, I don't really care about that. I mean, of course I care, but the biggest win for me was, I mean, that gold medal represented all the adversity I went through.
mhm,
Like just going after like each roadblock I went like met on the way to this goal, I came over. I became stronger. I took all my like adversities, like I made them to my strengths, and took just kept going. And I feel like that gold medal is a symbol for that. You know, everyone. I mean, everyone goes through like adversities in life, but it doesn't matter what you go through. It's what you choose to do with the given opportunity that you are put in, and what type of person you decide to become when you like have to when you stand between the crossroads. Am I going to give up? Am I going to feel bad for myself, or am I going to level up now and make sure I'm a, like and just take my life to the next level?
mhm.
um but yeah, I mean, I'm my mom, she went like she started to cry as soon as I saw it. My dad, who isn't like a super emotional guy, he got very emotional as well. Um, yeah, I mean, it meant the world to me to, make my friends and family proud. I had my friends down there cheering me on. Um, they were the loudest in the crowd at that competition, I think.
I think your friends did not just cheer you on. I think the whole world was cheering you on because
Yeah,
I mean it was one of the moments that I was there. And again, as I said, that jumps two step ahead, but it was we could see the passion on that last pull, right? It's almost like forget about everything that happened. It just as soon as the referee said down, the passion
yeah,
showed. Everyone could tell how much this meant to you. It's not just about the world championship, about you've
no,
achieved something that you set out for. I think one of the things people intend to mistake is thinking when you go. I mean, talking as an athlete myself, when you prepare for the big championship or you only prepare for something, you think success is always winning at the end. Do you know what I mean?
no,
Yeah,
it's
great.
not.
You won, the medal meant so much as you describe it, but sometimes
Mm,
it's you know what I mean? The journey to get to there. Did you get to that?
yeah.
Did you tick the boxes that you wanted to tick? Because it's a strength sport, as we said. Not saying because of what happened to me in the past or whatever, but I've been to championship where I've won. But even though
Mhm.
I was just like, yeah, because almost I did not achieve what I set out to, although I won.
Mm.
But when you achieve what you set out to, the result, in the end result doesn't matter. It's about who you are, what you have achieved yourself as an individual.
Yeah.
So yeah, now bring it back to the championship itself, Malta. This is the, as you said, first time you're going up against people like Taylor Howard, this team in Monagadi coming in from New Zealand, dropped from the 83, the skinny team. I still hate you for that. From the 83 coming in. So almost like, as we mentioned there, that nobody bats Calle. So
Mm.
everybody in the heavyweight because they have earned the right to be backed.
Of course, of course. I was a novice. Of course, nobody rooted for me. I was the new guy.
Yeah. So for them to back whatever the names were, that they deserve all of that. So you coming into the forward weigh in, the squat started, you went three
Mhm.
squat, right? So at that moment, did you know what was going on around you? Like Taylor's
No,
last team has broken the world record.
no. I didn't know anything until the last deadlift.
Wow. Even
Yeah, because no, I told myself and the national team coaches that I don't want to know anything. I just need to focus on what I'm supposed to do. Um, my coach's brother Christopher, he actually sent me a video, like a long video message to me the night before, where he just told me that, he told me that, you're ready, you got the mentals, you got the spirit with you, you got everything that it needs to do to become a champion. Whatever, the only thing you have to do is to, and I call this, aim and shoot. Aim and shoot, just one attempt at a time. That's what he told me. And I took that to heart and was like, you know what? I'm not going to focus on what the other guys do. The only thing I need to do is to aim and shoot. Aim and shoot. Just one attempt at a time. Don't think about what your third attempt's going to be when you have like your opener on your back. Don't think about it. Just one attempt at a time and treat it like it's if it's life or death.
yeah,
Treat it with respect that the weight deserves. And I did that.
I mean, again, aim and shoot. You know what I mean? Something as simple as that has
Yeah.
almost made you a not almost, but has made you a world champion. Do you know what I mean? This is we'll go back to what we said, the variable. What variable can you control? If you can seize that moment and control that variable, then hang on to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it really work. I mean, from my experience, like of course, when I was having a bad day, when I came out of one squat, and I said to myself, okay, you come up one squat, there's six lifts to go. The game is over, right? It's
Yeah.
now you have to get to the finish line. And that finish line, where do you have to go to? So what do I
Mm.
need? I just said to myself, look, I got my little one there, my little boy here. First time for him to come on a holiday with me, and first time for me to lift in a country, beautiful country like this. So why don't just go there?
Mm.
Well, I just compete against myself. I don't need to chase people anymore. Do you know what I mean? And then
Mm.
the history. So it's like those little bit of things that makes us different from the rest of the world because people intend to crumble.
Mhm.
On pressure of no making lift, they crumble on pressure of oh my god, I'm actually become a world champion if I get my three deadlifts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this especially when you're going up against names like Taylor Howard, it's massive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Um,
mean it demands a lot of like character from yourself to handle that type of pressure. I mean, I could have easily just decided to, let the thoughts win,
mhm,
let the
mhm.
intrusive thoughts win, and just, crumble. I mean, that's what happened to me at my first Open Championship in Sweden. I went from like being a gold medal prospect, getting into the national team, all the fame and glory, making my parents proud. And I let the pressure get the best of me. But the thing is, after that competition, I told myself, I'm never going to feel that feeling again. I'm never going to let myself be my biggest obstacle. I'm going to be my own I'm going to be the best version of myself in order to reach the best the best possible outcomes.
Yeah,
Um,
that's great, mate. I mean, that's very inspiring to hear. To be honest, even myself that has been in the game for since 2017, and it's almost like every time I listen to top high level lifters, there's always one thing that they do you don't. Do you know what I mean? And then you pick that and then you put it in your almost like your vote, thinking, can I use?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what makes us who we are today. So now, mate, last deadlift. Let's go to the last deadlift. We're not going to talk about bench because you are not the biggest bencher. So let's not talk about bench.
Yeah.
Deadlift.
Hmm.
That first attempt. Talk me through from the first attempt to your last.
So if we go back to the warm-ups, I mean, the warm-ups felt really good. I mean, everything was clicking. I was just focusing again, one attempt at a time with the warm-ups as well. I don't want to look too like forward ahead. Opened. I think we faked the opener with like 290, but then afterward we upped the opener with 15 kilograms to 305. Opened with that. I mean, felt like fucking paper, man. I mean, it didn't feel like I had anything on the bar. I was like, yeah, I'm fucking ready. Like, load it up. I don't care what you guys load.
But what what
Uh,
what was the goal in your head as well in terms of like leading to that deadlift battle in Malta? I'm sure I've seen some of your big deadlifts you pulled before in training. Did you have a
yeah,
specific number though in terms of top end? Especially if 305 felt like paper, in your head
yeah.
you're thinking, I got my top end today.
I mean, the game plan was 305, 320, pull for the win. That was Joe's plan.
Okay. So basically,
Yeah,
what you exactly executed is what Joey planned.
yeah,
But what you because as an athlete, our coaches
yeah.
plan, but as an
Hmm.
individual, we almost have a number in our head that we know we're capable of. In
Oh
terms of
yeah, yeah.
a typical example, right? If they pull 345 on the bar, will you be like in
Hmm.
your head? You'll be like, yeah, that's the number wanted, so I got this. So on your side, what number did you had in your head? Is forget about the
Yeah.
328.
340. That was the number I had in mind. As soon as like I logged out my 320, I was like, yeah, as like I'll pull. I mean, I thought about like 340, but I was like, I told my like national team coaches that because after my first attempt, I actually got the first glance at the scoreboard and I saw how close it was, and I was like, I gotta make this 320 like fucking fly, and I made it fly. And afterwards, as soon as I got off the platform, I was like, 340. If we need 340, load 340. I don't care. I mean, load 350, I'll fucking pull it.
Good man.
Uh, yeah, it was like I was in it to win it. I didn't care about anything else by like after that. And yeah, when I stepped out to my last attempt, I had no idea what they put on the bar. I mean, I didn't even know that Taylor missed his last attempt. Um, Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know what Tim was going to pull or why he was pulling for that like certain weight. The only thing I knew was that I was going to go out and pull for the win. Um, yeah, and when it was my turn after Tim has just pulled his last attempt, I got this I got this memory from like you can almost call it like it was like a scenario that popped on in my head the day before after I saw the video that Chris sent me.
Yeah.
It was just of me standing there right before going out to the platform, like by the tunnel, going out for my last attempt, and I just had this feeling of, yeah, it's going to be a good day. And when that like moment replayed in my head when I was going out to the platform, it was like, yeah, I've just won. I'm just gonna I'm going to go out there now and pick up my gold medal that I deserve.
Good man.
I knew that it was over. I just knew it.
I mean, with after you pulled, of course, you won, and the celebration was wild. It was really,
Yeah,
really wild.
yeah,
Anyone that was on that arena or whatever you call it, it doesn't matter what nation you're from. Britain, France, and Norway, Germany, whatever the nations were. When you pulled that 328, everyone just stood up and big people literally screamed on top. The reason for that is not because, oh, we wanted, because a lot of people are getting this wrong, thinking, oh yeah, everyone wanted Taylor Howard to win, to get a new
Mhm.
champion, so that's why people celebrated. No, it's because you came in, no one gave backed you up. People backed you to pull 340, but never people backed you to even come second. Do you know what I mean? These are the
Yeah.
moments you want to create in powerlifting. An underdog coming in and winning again too against Taylor Howard. Again, as we said, that these are the opportunities you don't get often. You know, this is your story. You know, your story
Mm.
is amazing. It's something, again, you have to seize, and I'm glad, as you said, that you're proud, your family and friends are proud of it. Not just because of the world championship you won, but from where you started to where you are. And look at in the middle, you have to beat Taylor Howard. It's
Yeah.
not Austin Perkins that beat Taylor before you. No, Austin Perkins can beat Taylor by 100 kilo ahead or 200 kilo ahead, but you was the first legend killer. Right? You've been given the opportunity that Jesus never got against Ray.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure probably you will get that opportunity in the future, but so far, the only legend that has killed, the only legend killer that has killed a true living legend is you. You know what I mean? Of course, there's the ladies one on the side. There's so much going on there in terms of powerlifting history, but you've made that
Yeah.
history. So that's something like, yeah, you should be proud of. And
Yeah, of course. And I am. I just wanted to like click in. I just want to give my respects to Taylor as well. I mean, I knew that he came in with like he wasn't like his full capacity Taylor, and I knew that. And yeah, I just want to like pay tribute to like what he's accomplished in the sport. I mean, what he's done is like, I mean, he put the 74 kg class on the map. And I mean, he was the 74 kg class for a very long time. So yeah, all hats off to him. I just want to give him all the respect. And I'm really glad that he was like very respectful afterwards. You know, he came up to me, congratulated me. There was no no bad blood in between us. So yeah, he's a really good guy.
that's what you call a true champion, isn't it? True champions are only known when they're fallen. Do
Yeah.
you know? That's when you know a true champion, what it meant to the sport. Again, I think Taylor is someone I met many times, many time around in powerlifting, and I've spoken to him so many times. Is someone, again, I'll echo what you said. What he has achieved, not just 74s as your weight class, brilliant, but for powerlifting in general, Taylor's done things
Yeah.
we never thought it could be done. Do you know what I mean? The 838 he did in 2021 in USAPL, no
Mm.
74 can hit anything north of that. You know, today we have got Perkins hitting 851, but if Taylor did
Yeah.
838, no one would have thought that a 74 is capable to hitting those kind of numbers. So he paved
No.
for all of
Yeah,
you.
he paved the way. Yeah,
It's
he
something
definitely did.
not forget. And then it really pains me when I see people on social media, people we call, of course, keyboard warriors, bashing Taylor Howard about things he said or things he done in the past. But mate, why don't you get on the platform and do what he's done? Simple. You know, when I get
It's
someone saying, "Oh yeah, but he's not stronger than that person," yeah, fucking get on the platform, go and compete against him. Let's see what you're gonna do.
exactly. It's a whole other ball game when you like.
You know.
I mean, it's a whole other ball game when you stand across from the guy. I mean, I was literally warming up next to him. I was like, we were making eye contact in between like warm up lifts.
Mad.
So that's a lot of pressure to take in.
You know, that's mad. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's alone. You see, that's alone. That's an experience you've had that many people probably were never gonna have. You know, he's probably trying to warm up next to other lifters in the past, but knowing, yeah, I'm gonna win by 50 to 100 kilos.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, kudos to you in terms of what you've done. Again, as I said, Taylor came into this one not being really on his best. He could have pulled out, but he came
Yeah.
in. Taylor, I would always give his best on the platform, and he gave his
He
100.
sh
You know what I
he
mean?
showed up like a true champion.
Exactly. So it's something you should probably take honor from that, because you beat Taylor, him putting his 100% on it. Do you know what I mean? And then you beat him. So yeah. So now after the comp, there's one thing I want to talk about, Carly.
Hmm.
I had Shell here, right? Yesterday we were doing the European preview. She
Hmm.
pulled in Group B, which was, it was normal for him to pull in Group B, because the total he went to Malta with was a 83 he did in Norway, so they have to
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Group B before you guys started? Because Shell went for the world record and got it.
You know, as soon as I weighed in and started like, recomp and all that, I actually went in to like find my national team coaches. And I saw the scoreboard and the video playing, and I was like, as soon as I stepped in, I was like, oh shit, he's going for a world record. That was fucking crazy.
I mean, because I was talking to him here, I said, if Shell was in a group, things would have been different.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's gonna be a big threat coming into next Worlds.
Yeah.
And I watched him in closely for
Yeah.
Euros as well.
He said big things yesterday. Just listen to the podcast and then you'll find out.
Yeah, I will. I will.
Let's spoil it for you. You gotta have. Um, so yeah. Now, I mean, of course, you qualify for Sheffield. When
Yeah.
touch, you took a little bit of a minute for you to be announced at Sheffield because every world champion that was winning a in Malta was literally you win 2 minutes later. This person.
Yeah.
So, of course, don't give me too much details, but if you can, it's fine. If not, it's all right.
Mm.
Why is that?
I don't know how much I can touch upon it, but if you watch what I have around my knees,
Okay.
yeah. The thing is, it was a miscommunication between the Swedish Fed and the other. I mean, what was said in the contract, and I mean, I wore what I wore because I thought it was okay. And if I knew that it wasn't like anything like that was okay, I never would have put them on. But yeah, it was a miscommunication. That's it. But everything is sorted now. We're all on good terms. So yeah, I
So,
mean,
are you an SPD guy now?
yeah.
So welcome to the family. So yeah,
Yeah, I'm really glad to be a part of SPD.
good man, good man. So whatever's happening in the background or whatever you use, you order before, you can give that away anyway. There's a lot of charity. I know there's
Yeah, yeah.
in Sweden that will probably need that. Cool. Now Sheffield is here.
Hmm.
Bring you to Sheffield. Did you watch Sheffield last year?
I didn't go like in real life,
Did
but
you watch
of
it
course I
live?
watch it live. I watch it like through YouTube.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
YouTube did not do it credit. Did not give you enough credit. I told you. Take it from me. I was there as a spectator because I'm not strong enough to be on that platform anyway. But telling you the experience in that place is
Hmm.
never experienced before. What was you thinking when you watched it? Is it something you feel like, "Do you know what? I would love to be on that platform one day."
Of course, but it felt so far away, like watching it then. I never, like in my wildest dreams, was like thinking about, oh, I might be there next year. It was like, well, if I'm lucky, maybe in a year or two, maybe three, maybe four, who cares? I might get there one time, but yeah, the fact that I got to like that I got invited for the second Sheffield, it's crazy. It's a dream come true, honestly. I mean, when I watched it the first time, it was like, this isn't powerlifting. This is beyond what I know as powerlifting. Um, and I'm so excited for like the second rounds for this. It's gonna be amazing.
Second one will be even bigger. What you watched there was just an introduction.
Yeah.
So whatever we experienced in the last year, from what's coming from Sheffield, apparently SPD is going all out for this one, and the third one will be even better. Fourth one,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he's making some of us to be in powerlifting a little bit longer and not retire in time, even though I'm 35 now. But so it's just an interesting thing to see. So because of we just touched on Sheffield, I'll ask you: do you think Sheffield has had an impact on powerlifting in general? If
Yeah,
so,
because the production value, and I mean, what I've heard from others, it was like a rock concert. It wasn't a typical like powerlifting meet. This was something else. I mean, and I experienced this just as like a YouTube spectator. That was entertainment. That wasn't powerlifting. That was entertainment. Powerlifting isn't entertaining usually. It's a boring ass sport to watch, but I mean, they made it entertaining. So
I think I was in the audience, right? They gave people glow sticks, right? And every single lifter that's coming. One of the things I like about Sheffield, it was not about nations, although people wore the nations singlet, but it was not
Mm,
nations. It was not about lifter against the other lifter. The support every single lifter at Sheffield got was almost equal.
mm.
Any lifter that's coming there is getting the scream. Right? I remember when
Shit.
Bruce came out for his last deadlift, who there, and he did get raids on that. Almost car, right? The whole place, like 17 or 2,000 people, start screaming,
Mm.
Jesus, Jesus.
Yeah. Oh,
Man,
damn.
Carl, and I'm telling you, like, I wouldn't want to be the jury in that place. As much as Chef is amazing, I wouldn't want to be a jury. But because
No.
the whole room, 2,000 people, 1,700 people screaming, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. So no one want to leave. No one want to make a move until that decision is checked again. Do you know what I mean? And then you can see
Shit.
series were jumping on the table. Gaston, okay, what's that? Literally, I'm thinking like people are not leaving for that decision. So to me, that is that's why I sat there. Almost gave me that extra desire and fire, into this.
Yeah.
Almost like thinking, okay, this sport is not just about me going in my garage lifting weight being boring, but when you reach this kind of level, you almost
Mm.
expect a different world of the powerlifting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a fucking boring sport. You know, my dad only watched powerlift when I go international because I'm on TV. So he
Yeah. Yeah.
watching thinking, oh yeah, my son is on TV, but he didn't even know talking about my name. He was like, oh look, my family name is on TV.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
I invite him to the British. He was like, why would I come in there and see you would lift weight? Why would I do that? I was like, but you watch me on TV. I was like, yeah, TV is different because your name is coming on camera. It's different.
Yep.
So yeah, Sheffield is an spectacle. It's not a powerlifting me. As you mentioned, you said there, you're right. Being on that platform, mate, it will be different. Especially the suite. You guys, when you go everywhere, you go like as a nation, right? It's gonna
Oh
be
yeah.
there is you and this Gustav. So you're coming in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the Malta crew, the Malta boys are coming.
You're coming in prepared. So
Yep.
that lead me to ask a question is what specific records are you expecting to go for at Sheffield?
Deadlift in total.
Deadlift in total.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to be completely honest, well, yes, I'm pretty close to the squat world record, like based on what I've done in training. But I mean, Tim is a fucking beast. He's probably gonna demolish that record. So I mean, I'm not even counting on that.
I'm,
So
I'm glad you're honest. So I'm glad you're honest there. But again, I mean, you're close to the squat world record, right?
yeah, yeah, of course, of course.
I'm telling everybody, it all depends on Dylan Nelson in Great Britain, how much he has to put on that bar next week in Estonia.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. So I know the world record is there, but he's done that world record multiple times locally and
Mm,
in the gym. So it all depends on how much you want to put on that bar in Estonia.
yeah, and we
So,
can't forget about Shell either. I mean, what's his total gonna be, and what's the deadlift record gonna be?
oh, I mean, Shell, I'm not going to give you too much again. As I said, anyone want to listen to what Shell said about him, listen to the podcast. Go back.
Yeah.
But Shell is coming to spoil your party. Let's just say.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm expecting it.
So he's healthy. He's been training for 6 months for the first time ever in his life to train raw for 6 months. So as a power lifter, as a weightlifter, when you have 6 months of non-stop training, things will get nasty, especially
Yeah.
someone like him that's been in the sport for a very long time that understand pretty much all the variable better than probably you and me as
Oh
young.
yeah, 100%. He's a legend, man.
So
Uh,
it's crazy. So now the next one, because you said total and of course total and a deadlift, that's what you're going to be going for. So what number do you think you're going to be hitting?
well over 800, my friend. Well over 800.
On okay, I'm getting excited. See, I've just lost my words there. So on that deadlift, right? All over, you said over 800 on this. Of course, that's a total. What are we expecting on the deadlift?
Well, if you think about, well,
If you're
I
since you compared yourself in the beginning to Austin Perkins, he put 337.5.
oh yeah, it's gonna be over that, but how much we'll see. But it's gonna be well over that.
That is exciting. That's exciting. That's exciting. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to talk much, but I have a good gut feeling that the deadlift's gonna be a very good. It's gonna be a really big, really big.
I can't wait. I'm excited. Just talking like that, you're giving me goosebumps. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
Um,
but we'll see if what God allows me to do, I will do it. So yeah.
Amen to that, my brother. So in terms of like, because we've seen team dropping to the 74s from the 83 from the World Championship, we've seen Evie. That's another legend killer. You know, there's no many legend killer in the sport. Coming in, dropping to the 52, and now she just go or 72s, basically dropping weight. Have you considered dropping to the 66 and ruining the party?
Oh no, no, definitely not. I'm too. I think I'm way too tall for like even 74s.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, long term, I've been talking about this for too long now, but I mean, I think eventually, since I'm a young guy, I'm probably going to go up to 83s. Going down to 66s, no.
Mate, look, let's talk that bit later. But yeah, but in terms of we talk about you don't want to drop, of course you're gonna go up. But are you thinking maybe some of the guys you're gonna be going up against, they will be going up or dropping weight classes? Because team is an 83.
Yeah,
Even though team you're listening,
yeah.
right? You're not fucking at 874. So you do the 74, come back to the 83s. Do you think they will be dropping or would be they're going up? It's only team I'm talking about here because that's the only one you're going up against.
I don't know. I mean, he's progressing very well as a 74. I think I mean, he's probably gonna be into the 800s as well, come Sheffield, based on how his training is gone. But I don't know. It all depends on. I think it all depends on how all the other guys will like progress in the 74s. I mean, it feels like we get more and more killers each and every year. Um, I don't think that just because if I go up a weight class, he will chase me. Uh, or that's what my gut feelings tells me, at least. Um, yeah, I don't know actually. It's
That's
hard to answer.
because I mean, again, right? When the reason I asked that question is because he's done it. You know, I mean, team has gone to 74, he's done it, and he came second on world, and now he's got a Sheffield invite, and Sheffield.
Hmm.
You don't need to be on the weight class you won the world championship or qualify for. You can do any weight class you want. So
Hmm.
why I asked because the numbers team has been pushing and training and the posting is ridiculous. So I
Hmm.
mean,
Yeah.
to be posing 325 kilo as a 74 lifter is insane. You know what I mean? That's incredible. And that squat, as you said, is
Hmm.
just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I wouldn't be surprised if he load 290 come to Sheffield because he's getting really, really strong with that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So yes, 2024. There's a lot of things happening, right? Carl, there's the Sheffield's happening. Of course, there's the
Hmm.
in June, and that the opportunity for us to qualify for the World Games in 2025.
Yes.
Is this something
Yes.
you are thinking of?
Of course. Yeah. That's gonna be the main goal, just to qualify. Again, I want to make my parents proud.
Mhm.
Just to see, I mean, if they get to watch their son. I mean, it's not going to be the Olympics, but I mean, it's going to be the closest that powerlifting has. I mean, it's going to be an opportunity again to make them proud. So,
Uh,
of course.
that's incredible what you just said there, making your parent proud and aiming for it. But when we look at the calendar next year, you have go Sheffield in Feb, right?
Hmm.
Then the World Championship in June, and of course
Yes.
the coming of Austin Perkins.
Yep.
Deny that, right? And we know he's one of those lifters from that other side that lifts to standards because a lot of lifters from that side they don't really lift to standards. I'm talking about not a bashing here, but it's a reality when it comes to IPF. But these are some of the best lifters in the world, you know, and then
Hmm.
they can easily adapt because we saw Bob Matthew and Ashton big
Yeah.
hitters. They did they I think qualify. They adapted easily. You know what I mean? This is
Yeah.
that good. It's easy for you to adapt. And Austin Perkins is coming in. How do you feel about it?
Um, I mean, it's gonna be a very like tough battle, but I'm not counting myself out either. I know my potential. Um, he's a great lifter. I mean, I don't think he's like not lifting the comp standard at all. I mean, I think he's going to acclimatize very good to IPF standards. I mean, he's got a great coach, great team behind him. Um, all respect to him, man. But I mean, I'm not going to battle for seconds if I have the chance to win. I mean, I've faced the Americans like before when I've been an underdog, and I've never shied away from it before. Um, and yes, I know it's Austin Perkins, like probably like the most talented lifter we have in powerlifting right now, at least in my at least in my mind. But again, I'm not going to shy away from it. I know what I am made of. I know that I'm not going to be the same lifter that I am right now compared to like in June. I mean, I'm going to be another level in February. Come on. I mean, so I'm definitely not counting myself out. But again, it's Austin. So we'll just see what happens on the day, like I always think about. Yeah.
I like what you said there in terms of like you're not going to be the same lifter in June, and of course it is a competition, right? You're going for it. When you have to go for it, you go for it. The reason I mentioned this because
Yeah.
a lot of people thinking the Americans are coming, crossing over, coming here. They're just gonna come in and walk off the rest of the world, and we're just gonna clap our hands and say, "Oh, welcome back and get your medals, go home."
Well, I mean, if you think like that as a competitor, quit.
Yeah,
Why have that loser mentality? Why? You can never know what will happen on the platform until you step on to the platform and you pull that last deadlift.
yeah. I think I said I did of course a podcast with King of the Lift. I don't know if you've listened to it. It was me, Anna, and Edo. We're talking about of
Yeah,
course
yeah, I listened to it.
Russ coming in as well. I think, of
Hmm.
course, due respect to people like that, because again, as you always
Yeah,
mentioned, Taylor, they've paved the way. They've shown us we're capable of achieving these kind of things, right?
yeah.
So we've reached levels that are unbelievable, and us, we're reaching those levels, you know. And then we're not saying we're gonna come and blow the water out of everybody else, but it's a competition. Well, I'm gonna tell
Yep.
you, turn up. It's not gonna be when I was like 10, 5, 6 years ago, where I'm going there to just get points. But now I'm not going there to the point. If I have to go balls out and win, I'll win. Simple. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
The saddest part about it, when we talk like that, we say things like that, people thinking we're disrespecting these big names. No, there wouldn't be big names if it was not for us competing against us.
Hmm.
What would Austin Perkins be without competing against you and winning a world championship? You might as well just stay home and the IPF will email you your medal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, what you said is great to think like that and to have that mentality, that mindset. And me, I'm excited. You know, having Austin in, having of course, Russ coming back in, Bob Matthew, and
Yeah.
of course there is Ashton. It's going to bring so many eyes into that world
Yeah,
champ.
it's going to be so good for the sport.
Amazing for the sport. You know, these guys coming with the viewing. You know, and then of
Yeah.
course Ross is part of your team as Team Flex. It's just like you guys want to come with your flex flag left, right, and
Yeah.
posting that shit. Do you know what I mean? And then me, I'm gonna be in the background thinking, yeah, I was next to him as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, hopefully some of us are gonna spoil that party if we can. So that's just exciting, you know. That's what sports is all about. Um,
Yeah, man.
yeah, I think again, we mentioned about the World Games. We mentioned about, of course, the World Championship coming in June, and of course, there's Sheffield in Feb. I just want to ask you one question, right? If you before I go to my last few ones, um,
Hmm.
what message do you have for your Sheffield competitors? Because in Sheffield, you're not just going against Tim, right? You are probably like well, the 74, there's two, and then with the 83, the 93s, there's a three, and of course there's 183 Delaney. I'm really sorry, Delaney. I apologize. You know, I wish I was strong enough to make that party and give you the dance that you deserve. But
Yeah.
be rooting for you. You represent the 83 strong. He's the only one. So what message do you give to the rest in terms of Carl coming in?
I'm in it to win it. I mean, I know I have the capacity for it. I don't like to shit talk about anyone. I mean, these are all champions, great lifters. I mean, they've worked just as hard as I've done to get here. So all the respect to them. But yeah, my ambitions are to win. Um, and yeah, we'll just see on the day and what God allows me to do.
So I mean, you're the here to win it. You said, right?
Yeah,
Over 800 and win it.
yeah.
And Sheffield is won by percentages. Uh,
And I mean, to be fair, I mean the 74 kg total record. I mean, Taylor hit that with like it looked like openers when he did it, so it wasn't like full capacity. It's pretty low compared to the other world records. So yeah, and I'm very certain that I'm gonna put on a lot of more weight on that world record.
so do you saying that he's the 74 kilo total, the weakest total in the IPF?
Among them, I don't have too good like information on what the other world records are, but I believe it's very low.
Because the reason, okay, I'm not no bash to the 74s here, is because the total might be weak, but it's about how many lifters within that can hit that total. Do you know what I mean? To
Mhm.
me, the 74s, you're capable, team is capable, Shell's capable,
Oh yeah.
Taylor himself, even though he's no 100%, he's capable hitting that. So we have got
Mm-hmm.
3 4 people in the 74 that can do that. So the
Mm-hmm.
83, yeah, Delaney got really close to it. Sheffield, it was literally pulled away from it, and I did
Mm-hmm.
20 still that's another 20 kilo on top of that. You know what I mean? So almost like how many around us that can get close to that world record. So again, I think the Europeans will be probably different. The people like Enna, Edo, and all that coming in, everyone that made that massive improvement. So
Yeah,
we expect that. Would you be watching the Europeans?
of course. Of
Why
course.
would you be interested in it?
83 and 74.
Why the 83s? Because we're not all that.
No, but you're close. It's so close. And of course, I mean, I love to watch a big deadlifter.
Exactly, exactly. So do you think Enna was gonna load it?
I think I mean he's gonna load whatever it takes to win.
Good man, good man. Yeah, and you need 400 plus, isn't
I mean,
it?
if he loads something to secure like a certain place, ah, no,
No,
no, he has to go for it.
load it to
It's all
win.
or nothing.
Anna, you heard that your peer, one of the biggest deadlifters in the world, just said to you all or nothing. If you don't load it, don't worry. I'm gonna beat him up for you. Don't worry, I promise.
It's gonna be fun to watch. It's gonna be really fun because I know how close you guys are. Like,
Yeah,
so yeah.
it'll be really fun. So yeah, my friend, good luck for Sheffield. Good luck for training with everything's going on. You're killing it.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
think one of the things that you gave a lot of tips here. All that listeners are listening to us, please take note, take advice. These are the best lifters in the world. When they're talking, this will actually improve. Myself, I'm sitting here when I talk to these guys, they inspire me. You know what I mean? And I take note. I had to listen to this podcast again and take my note on the deadlift and take my note on the come day. So
I
remember,
really appreciate it.
aim and shoot.
Yeah,
Guys,
exactly.
if you like anything we spoke about or anything that you think you have any question for Carl, just call a message or drop him a DM. Of course, he's gonna reply to you. And if you wanna come to the podcast, more than welcome for you guys to drop me a DM. I will invite you, and probably if I want to get Carl along with it, more than happy. We'll have fun. On that note, peace.